Baby chickens. Baby chickens.
As several of you guys pointed out, our chicken coop is going to be too small for the number of pullets that we have.
They're teenage chickens.
They were bigger than I was expecting. So this was always a temporary measure. So what we're going to do is we're going to fork them, the whole coop, and we'll sit them out in the garden. We got to have that all fenced in and let them roam around. And Jack and I will get to work on our real coop. Yeah, we got power.
That's not how you told me to carry it.
It is my falcon.
There, now it's proper, isn't it?
Jack and I are going to divide and conquer. He's going to build a temporary run here so they can come out at something that's going to have a roof on it. I don't think that they will last very long around here with all of the eagles and the hawks that are always always looking for something to eat. So he's going to work on that temporarily. I'm going to start putting the lumber package together, all the material lists for the real coop. We've got the design all picked out. We just got to cut all the materials. So hopefully, not hopefully, we're going to have to make do with what we have around here, because that's there won't be any trips to the lumber yard. Over the past several years since I've had the sawmill, I've cut a lot of these timbers from 4x6 up clear up to 12x12s. I got a lot of that stuff around here. This stuff's too heavy for a chicken shack, right? Too much work. Yeah, you could timber frame one, but it comes down to time, you know. And we got to get planted. We got to get the chicken house done. So we want to build it conventional. Nice thing about this is that we can get everything we need to out of these 2x4s, 2x3s, 2x2s, and such. One thing that that is impossible for me to replace is sheeting. And so this is what I did for that. When it dawned on me this pandemic was inevitable, I thought to myself, what are things that I can't reproduce? What are things what are things that I can? One thing I couldn't reproduce is sheeting. So I got with my buddy Ray, and he was of the like mind, and we bought a whole unit of 1/2-inch plywood. He took 30 sheets and I took the rest of it. This is something that's going to be really already paying dividends. I didn't know when I bought this what I was going to use it for, but I thought if we need to build a greenhouse, if we need to build a cabin for family members or refinish something, you know, if this turns into the Great Depression and it lasts for a long, long time, you know, and you're not able to get this stuff, that's a huge problem. So we have the sawmill, we have all the timber in the world, we can cut all the 2x, 4x, 6x material we want, but I can't produce that.
Probably enough for the whole project. Yeah.
My original plan was, in addition to buying that plywood, was to get a unit of 8-foot 2x4s, because with those two things you can pretty much build anything. Usually they're about $1.25, typically around here. When I got a quote for them, a guy told me they were almost $5 a piece. I told him, I said, now this is a local lumberyard. I know these guys. I bought from them for years. And I said, if our community, if we find out that you guys are taking advantage of this situation and price gouging to try to make a bunch of profit off of people's fear, you know, we're not going to forget that in the community, because there are other lumber yards that are not doing that, you know. And I don't know, you know, I don't know what the deal, but it looked kind of suspicious to me. I also bought a big box of torque screws, 3-inch deck screws, like the 60-pound box. Normally those are around 100, 125. $200. Your table saw is a pretty versatile machine. I mean, it's essentially a small sawmill. I mean, that's exactly the way the old sawmills used to work. I converted this one to 240, put a 240 electric motor on it, which gave it a lot more power, and it's pretty good for this sort of thing, especially, you know, ripping things that are not much bigger than 2x material. It'll be just fine. I'm going to put a ripping blade on. There's lots of different blades. The more teeth you have on it, usually that a blade with that's got a lot of teeth, like an 80, is for fine work. It leaves a nicer finish. Where when you're doing just hardcore ripping and stuff, you can go general purpose that's like a 40 tooth or even less than that.
She's coming to see the baby chickens.
What are you doing?
I'm shooting the baby chicken with Mama.
Do you want to see the baby chickens?
Yes. Baby chickens. Baby chickens.
You see where they have the purple on them? That's where you have to be careful. It looks like they got hurt a little bit where they have the purple on them. So don't touch them where the purple is, okay?
What's that?
That one's a different one. It's all black. You can pet that whole one.